Dock replacement means removal and new installation, not repairs or redecking. Costs next. Materials 45 to 65%. Labor 35 to 55. Permits 1 to 10. Scope next. For apples to apples costs, define scope. Replacement includes demo and new structure. Repairs. Permits often separate. Replacement costs hinge on size, site conditions, structure choices, and delivery factors. Logistics, labor, permits. Common dock types and where they shine. These definitions set up cost ranges next. Briefly, base installed costs per square foot, structure only, by dock type. Next, regional labor impact. Coastal rates run much higher. Labor and equipment differences drive installed cost. Next, baseline example. Benchmark, 8 by 30, 240 square feet. Base builds run 7 to 17,000. Next, bid content. Here's what usually appears on a replacement bid. Core costs and common extras. Next, removal. Demolition costs vary with structure, access, pile removal. Timelines range hours to days. Next, disposal. Here's how disposal costs vary by material, with hauling added. Next, access method shifts total. Shore mobilization, 300 to 1,200. Barge mobilization, 1 to 5,000. Remote sites add 10 to 30%. Permits span local fees to individual approvals. Next, we'll cover design, survey, and engineering costs. Professional services span surveys, engineering, analyses. Costs vary or bundle with design build. Next, environmental constraints. Permitting limits change design, cost, timing, mitigation gear and materials, habitat offsets. Next, site conditions. Site conditions shift budgets. Depth, bottom, exposure, tides, and ice. Access drives costs. Ice next. Ice jacking damages docks. Choose removable or piles. De-icing, $800 to $2,500 plus power. Seasonal, install, remove, $300 to $1,500. Deeper water needs longer piles. Installed cost rises, roughly $600 to $1,900 as material and time increase. Steel, higher. Compare pine and composite, material plus install costs, lifespan, and maintenance. Next up, framing impacts. Frames drive structure cost. Pick lumber for economy or aluminum for durability. Next, flotation pricing. Flotation cost drivers. HDPE drums run 80 to 250. Foam costs more. Quantity matters. Hardware next. Galvanized suits freshwater. Stainless excels in salt water. Aluminum brackets curb galvanic risks and life cycle costs. Choose corrosion-resistant fasteners. Code-rated connectors. Ramp hinge costs vary widely. Next, piles and alternatives ahead. Timber economical. Steel needs saltwater protection. Concrete long life. Next, anchoring for floating and pipe docks. Anchors. Floating docks piles. Helical or dead man. 2 to 6 anchors. Next, compare legs, anchors, piles, side by side. Compare pipe legs, helical anchors, piles, cost, conditions, upkeep. Next, economies of scale by size. Smaller docks cost more per square foot because fixed setup dominates. Larger footprints spread overhead. Next, modular section. Pick 4 by 10 to 8 by 10 modules. Larger cut connectors need buoyancy. More sections raise hardware costs. Residential aluminum gangways run large. Typical sizes and costs now. Accessories pricing is next up. Small dock accessories add up. Ladders, cleats, fenders, and bumpers. Next, railings, lighting, power, water utility. Optional amenities vary widely. Railings, lighting, and utilities span ranges. Next, boat and PWC lift. Costs swing. PWC's cheapest. Bigger boats, deep water, and piling raise budgets. Next, platforms and launches. Kayak launches, $800 to $2,500. Swim platforms, $2,000, $8,000. Next, shoreline stabilization work, often separate from dock budgets. Shoreline work, dredging are separate cost drivers. Access and permit swing pricing. Next, logistics, access. Similar docks cost more with difficult access, time, and gear. Next, remote or island surcharges. Remote islands add premiums. Expect 10 to 30% uplift. Next, timeline and seasonality ahead. Permitting takes months, fabrication weeks, installation days to weeks. Seasonal windows fill fast, affecting overhead. Small floating dock replacement totals roughly $6,000 to $10,000. Next, a piling example. Piles dominate costs on a 10 by 30 replacement. Next, compare an aluminum floating system with gangway. Coastal aluminum float with composite deck and 30-foot gangway totals about $40,000 to $70,000. Most spend goes to structure. Utilities and overhead shift. Smaller line items still add up. Since 2019, lumber spiked then eased. Aluminum and composites rose, pushing dock budgets roughly 10 to 30%. Small floating $615,000, mid-piling $25,000 to $60,000, large $60,000 to $150,000 plus overall. Key cost shifters: size, site exposure and depth, access method, materials, utilities, permitting, plus lifts. Base budgets by size, add-ons excluded, can add $2,000 to $30,000. Next, life cycle maintenance. Life cycle drives costs. Wood needs upkeep. Composites and metals last longer. Budget yearly for maintenance. Overruns stem from hidden conditions, ground challenges, permits, weather, materials, and access. Next, regional pricing. Illustrative regional snapshots. Costs vary. High-cost metros trend higher. Next, we'll outline bid line items. Bids priced by unit: square foot, linear foot, pile, anchor, day, lump sum. Most dock replacements cost between $10,000 and $70,000, depending on local conditions.